Ballerina, week 26, game 2. I am joined by Victor Pradley. I'm your host, Trivia 5. I'm joined by Gus Pussy Just Drew. with
people.
with Tom in the background. What up, YouTube? Morgana being banned first off. Yes. Like,
Wait, that'll so, but it's good.
Yeah.
But then you'll get the direct one. You won't have to go through Twitch streaming the game.
Yeah.
You just go straight to the game. You're already in the fourth.
Ari still worth banning? I don't know if Ari's. I guess it's annoying to verse, but I don't think she's still good, but I don't think she was strong as she used to be as much. That could just be me, but like.
They're like, no. How fast are they?
Super fast. Zed Pan coming in from last game. I did like that Zed's plays last game. I think he did pretty good. Even if it was a loss, I still think he did pretty
That
good.
saxophone song like that.
Hey Tom, shut up.
Oh, yeah.
Live
Right, dog. You're a dog.
You're a dog.
That's the dog.
LeBlanc and Akali. Did anyone see the new Akali skin?
Did you leave some money?
Oh my god, shut up. Okay, they're not gonna be casting anymore. They're just getting enough. And J4 bad still. Any opinions on these picks and bans, Victor? If he's there. Alright, Vibe. Ooh, God. Champions like, there we go. That was not a Vi jungle at all. What do you want to Vi being picked. Jarvan and Carly being banned. Carly's kind of difficult to deal with. If she snowballs, Jarvan is honestly the best jungler at the moment, other than Vi. So, yeah, from C, Victor, your microphone's on mute. Oh, you're not talking. But
yeah, okay, I was talking and shit. Okay, so Vi, very good first pick. Just because she's really one of the top junglers at the moment, probably second underneath Jarvan. So good use of the first pick. You can get one of those really big, powerful champions out of the way there. And purple team using their first two picks to grab the bot lane. Very good. Something a lot of pro teams will do is just grab their bot lane, especially. Graves and Thresh, don't have a lot of counter matchups to really think about.
It's sort of difficult to counter play against bot lane anyway. It's like what are the top tier like AD carries right now? It's Graves, it'd be Kalista, or maybe not Kalista anymore after the nerf, but like Graves, Kalista, Sivir. It's like I guess you maybe even Ezreal. Ezreal's sort of like maybe A tier but not S tier sort of thing.
Ezreal's a little bit up there. You'll see him every now and then if the AD carry player is an Ezreal player himself.
That would be me. A lot of Ezreal going into mid lane now. I don't know.
Faker's been doing it.
Yeah, Faker has been doing it a lot. But,
and,
good counter. I would say just quickly because good counter pick would picking Leona into Graves or even if Thresh be a little bit better. I mean, Leona has one dash away and. It really depends on what AD carry is going to try and synergize with Leona here. Xerath, I think Xerath's still pretty strong. That long range poke and a lot of AP damage. Ult's a bit funny, but otherwise it's like,
Yes, very strong picks coming out from blue team, especially the Riven. Not exactly in favor. You don't see a lot of play from her in the pros, and has opened herself up to a little bit of counter picking, and now the Sion has come up. Riven being someone who wants to get that early lead and start snowballing, similar to Draven. Sion, very good pick into her, just because it's going to be really hard to hurt Sion, and he can harass from a range by shouting at minions.
Although it is entirely like preference. If played in the right hands, like box Riven, you're going to actually do a lot of damage really fast. I just commenting on the Jinx ban. They sort of have the right team to like be a lot of like tanks up in the face while Jinx can sort of be at the back and be a hype. Well, she's better as a hyper carry now, sort of thing. But it's going to be interesting to see if she'll be smart and stay safe while in laning phase against Graves, who has a lot of burst early. Rek'Sai has played the other jungle. It would be like Vi, J4, Rek'Sai, Lee, and then like Nidalee would be like the top junglers, I think, at the moment. And a Syndra against Xerath. I don't really know that matchup because I don't see a lot of Syndras played, obviously.
Well, Syndra can still obviously do what she used to do very effectively. The only real issue is her hitbox on her orb. Now, I have not seen a lot of Syndra in the current patch, and Riot reckon they've upped it a little bit. I don't know what it is compared to how it used to be when she was getting most of the picks, but it should be interesting nonetheless.
It'd be interesting to see how these buffs take place. So,
alright, Trippy, drop the summoner spells covers.
Yeah, okay, I have, don't you worry. Just want to give a shout out to the Oslo Treeforce podcast that gets streamed on Wednesdays here on the Treeforce podcast channel, hosted by Carrot Colossus, my main man, joined by Stephen Ranconius and even Victor here, who is also guest starring on Ballerina after coming back to his roots, you know.
Yeah, you know, I like to come and play a game and pretend I'm really good and just feed out. It's completely hard.
You didn't feed at all. Anyway, you can check out the website, oslo.trinityforcepodcast.com. I think we're getting a new website, apparently. If I watch enough of
Yes,
podcasts.
it's actually changing to Trinity Force Network.
Trinity Force Network, okay.
Yes, that is going to be the official name now.
Will we be getting paychecks anytime soon, do you reckon?
You won't.
I know, I won't. Fuck. Maybe if we can get a donation button, maybe feed Trippy a pack of Tin Tams.
The Trinity Force podcast is getting a Patreon soon, so when that launches, if you enjoy the content, you want to maybe chuck us a couple bucks every now and then, just just a little thing here and there to help us keep going, help Adam pay for all the server costs so we can keep getting Oslo uploaded once a week. That'll be every little bit is much appreciated, and you don't have to give as well. That's a good. You don't have to do it. We're not forcing anything upon you, and you can cancel your Patreon anytime. But that's gonna be a little bit away. I'm not sure when that's happening. Apparently, T-Force people are getting emails. I'm not getting any emails.
Yeah, now they're lying.
Ridiculous.
It's just
staff
of T-Force.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, technically I'm a part of T-Force, but like, I'm one of those slightly more outside guys that's sort of just on the fringe of being on the network, but he isn't quite in there. That's sort of how it works.
No, I've taken over Ballerina. Ballerina's now mine.
You have taken over Ballerina.
Ballerina takeover.
You'll have to talk about Badger. You have to talk about that with Badger, I'd say.
Nah,
what do you think of these teams, Trippy? Who do you reckon's got the good advantage here? I think the only real problem this Jinx is going to have is getting caught out of position and either getting hit by a Syndra Orb or a Thresh Hook. Otherwise, if she's got good positioning, she's only really got to worry about Rek'Sai diving.
Or even Ribbon coming in with like flashes and jumping in on it.
Even Ribbon,
I reckon it's pretty balanced. It would honestly depend on how lanes I think go, because there's a lot of there's good team fight potential on both teams. They can split push for Sion, but then they can counteract that with Ribbon because Ribbon has pretty fast wave clear. I don't know. I think it would tightly come down to how ward control happens, what objectives get taken, how fast they get taken, and whether or not people are farmed enough, and how the builds go. But
yes, and on the note of objectives, of course, Sion has taken teleport, whereas Riven has gone for the ignite option, which means Riven's only option here is to kill Sion and get really, really fed and just keep snowballing until she's really just impossible to deal with. Whereas Sion, he's taken the teleport, he can be using that to get around the map a little bit more, and of course with that ultimate, he can just run wherever he wants. He doesn't gotta waste too much time. So it's basically like having two teleports in, just hanging, like one in his summoners, one in his kit. So he's gonna be able to have a lot more map pressure than Riven will ever have, just because she's typically just an Ignite champion. She runs top lane with Ignite. So blue team definitely gonna have the better control around the map. But if this Riven becomes a problem, which I get a feeling she won't because it's going to be very difficult to kill Scion. But
It will entirely
couple
depend on
mess-ups
how
by
early it
Scion,
goes. Yeah. Yeah.
it does, yes.
Mm.
Like Scion messes up and Riven can capitalize, or you know, if Scion just isn't hitting his attacks, then his minions screaming, then he might have some issues. But we'll definitely see how this goes.
Mm-hmm. Interesting to see. There has not been a Sona pick this in Battle Arena right now. There's no Sonas.
No one wants to play the sweet musics.
This fat beats. I like that skin. I love playing a mate of mine. It's actually KOTM Kajira's my mate. Bought DJ Sona, but I bought Pulsefire Ezreal not too long ago, and another mate of ours has Spirit Guard Udi, so we went the Rich Gang comp, where all of us just bought like ultimate skins, and just going like,
look how much money we have.
look at all my parents' money, yay! But oh
I
well.
love the Riot Grave skin, by the way. That's a beautiful skin. I love the Riot skin so much.
I gifted Archideron Riot K9 Nasus the other day.
I fucking bought that off a skin seller like ages ago. And I think about 2 weeks later, all the skin shops got closed down by Riot. And then they put K9 Nasus on the store.
Demo.
Touched on that or some shit.
Oh, I think Wings of Fire and Bingo have very slow connection speeds. Remember, you can go as soon as the game starts. You do have a 5-minute grace period, but for pausing, just so your teammates can actually connect. I don't know why it's coming up. Bingo is still yet to connect, I think, but still 5-minute grace. Use it. Just don't give yourself the disadvantage of having a full B5. But anyway, yeah, I think it would. I'm still debating which team to have an advantage. I reckon the early game will go to red, but if they let Jinx snowball and become a hyper carry for late, you can destroy towers, inhibs, get objectives faster and late. So I think and with the amount of like tanks, with Vi being tanky, Leona being tanky, Sion being tanky, appear more of a protect the carry comp, and Zeref can just sit there and fire lasers, which is fine.
Yeah, and even Zeref has the ability to protect himself and Jinx, so there's just an incredible amount of peel coming off on the blue team. Hopefully they use it and don't dive for the back line and just let Jinx get run down by Riven and Rek'Sai, because otherwise they've lost all their damage and it's gone into Riven's shield, it's gone into Rek'Sai, who can sustain it all back straight away the second he jumps back underground. So definitely try and play smart, because once you get to that late game point, the only people dealing damage, you get a little bit out of Zereth and you get most of it out of Jinx. So if you reach that late game point, you know Jinx is the one you need to be protecting, because those critted AoE rockets is really what's going to carry you out of this. Otherwise, you got a lot of damage coming out between Graves, Riven, and Syndra. So it's and even Rek'Sai, I'm not sure how much damage Rek'Sai does now compared to previously. And depending upon how well Rek'Sai does in this game as well, you know, Rek'Sai can pick up a couple extra damage items than she normally would, so...
I think you could just go, like, 1 damage item, then flat tank, and still do a lot of damage, like...
Yeah, well, I believe, like, the way I see it, Rek'Sai, Vi, and even Nocturne, I think, have very similar sort of, general build paths. They go for the same sort of stats, you know, damage item and a bunch of tank. Or 2 damage items and a bunch of tank, you know, that sort of approach to things. So they're all tanky initiators.
Yeah.
That have a decent damage output. So
it's been a long
actually, Nocturne. I said it on the last podcast. Not everyone really agreed with me too much, but I think he's very strong right now.
I haven't seen enough Nocturnes to really
I've come across
comment.
him a couple times in ranked. And he's been able, like, that ultimate causes so much chaos, and being able to just jump right on top of the carry and start dealing the damages can be really, really hard to deal with. And when you can't see where Nocturne is and you can't see who he's on top of, you can't even find your own carry, it becomes very difficult to peel.
Yeah. I haven't seen enough Nocturnes to really, like, agree or disagree, but I think Nocturne. I think I was watching Bjork's stream before, and he's like, "Oh, I hate having a Nocturne on the stream, versing a Nocturne, because it is our ult is a pain. Like it's scary as hell."
He does. He causes a lot of chaos in team fights because you can't see anything. You don't know where your enemy is. You don't know where your allies are, and it splits up the team just naturally because everyone's trying to find each other while fighting at the same time. And also just pushing that R button. Every lane thinks they're getting ganked, so everyone's got to step back.
It's scary.
Just in fear. He's a scary champion. But yeah, I think he's up there. Maybe not on Vi and Rek'Sai and Jarvan level. Maybe just a step under. He might even be in line with Lee Sin. But I definitely think
maybe
he's,
maybe
top,
ever so slightly
in the top
below.
5 or 6.
All right, we are in game now. Like apparently 58 minutes in.
6 years.
Yeah, I think Bingo never connected. But remember, still that pause period. Give it 5 minutes. We can head this back up.
Well, it's
I might want to change to
3 minutes
yeah.
in the future. I mean,
Maybe they came back. We don't know. We'll see. Or maybe we can pull a Victor Bradley and AFK top.
hey,
No, you were a
Show
good
some
man. You were a
respect.
good man. Yeah. But if the pause is willing to come out, let that happen. I'm gonna refresh my Twitch stream. Just make sure it's like running. I think I figured out what was my problem. There we go. There he is.
good. Bingo's back.
I think I figured out what the problem was. I was streaming in 1080p, but I only have 1 megabit upload speed. I was like,
Oh boy.
because I usually used XSplit, and XSplit did it for me. And OBS is like, oh, better default to 1080p, but nah, I've changed it back to like, not 720, but not the one below, like 480.
I wonder if Sion's gonna cheese it.
But take
Is he gonna
Gronk.
go? Is he gonna go to lane, or is he gonna try and take one of his enemy's camps?
It's like Sion can take their own jungler's Gromp, like die to it, take it, and like with passive.
Yeah, that's the very safe option, but he can really help put himself ahead as well as put Rek'Sai a little bit behind. If he sort of scouts the enemy's jungle a little bit, you know, and even if bot lane sort of moves a little bit towards their bot, the bot side of red jungle, and just sort of try and spot out where they think Rek'Sai might be starting, make it a bit easier, and Sion can get in there and take a camp as well. Just some things you can think about, you know. I always, when I start the game, like to sort of move a little bit into the jungle, avoiding as much as possible to face check bushes too, because you'll just die straight away if you walk into the wrong bush.
A lot of
just try and spot out where the jungler is or isn't.
Yeah.
So we got Krug start all around. That's an easy start, Krugs.
Yep.
Generally the one people go for very often. Vi can definitely do it because her W passive gives her a lot of attack speed, but that's interesting. She left the little one. I think she got a little ahead of herself there.
a lot of poke coming in the mid lane from Xerath, and Cinder already been taking quite low. Xerath is out of mana, but it doesn't really matter because of his passive, but it's gonna...
Yeah, he's making good use of it. He's going to hit the enemy champion to get that mana back. You get significantly more for champions than for minions, and we saw it there, 100%.
Gotta make sure that Gojira does not die to a camp. That would be kind of embarrassing. Otherwise,
That's a good hook by Thresh, max range, and a decent follow-up by Graves. Probably could have gotten a little bit more damage, and even a little bit more follow-up on Thresh. He sort of just made the hook and walked away. He could have gotten a flay stack auto attack in there, or just something, you know.
Yeah, still good amount of poke, good amount of harass, considering
definitely.
that Graves and Thresh are pushing so hard.
He did make it up there. He went in for the flay auto attack. Oh, that's a very good hook. He's going in right now, and the burst coming out from...
Good flash.
What's his name? Graves. The burst coming out from Graves is very strong. He's going to pull their flash, and now they have a very strong advantage in this lane. Health and some of the...
You want to keep behind your minions, and even if it's 100% necessary, keep behind Leona, because Jinx, you're not going to be able to survive that sort of punishment very early from Graves. I know you're getting pushed up a lot, but in this situation, you want to be like, stay back. Ooh. Tussle
We're a
happening.
big fight in mid lane. Xerath has popped his barrier, and Zindra's put down the ignite, but a lot of damage coming through, but it's not going to finish him off. And he's got no mana. He's gonna have to be very careful right now. The next stun orb could be the end of him.
Close.
Syndra dodging the
Flash
very
being
nice.
used up by Scion and just dodging the third Q from Riven. That probably might have been enough to actually kill him. Because he had ignite and then he would have been able to do damage with an
Oh,
auto
she's
attack.
going in very hand there.
Ooh, very
Assault
close.
was just saved Scion there. Pulled Riven's flash as well. So now the advantage is not so heavily in Riven's favor because she has lost that flash advantage. But Vi's going in here. A misplay by Vi could be the end of her. A nice couple stuns in the airborne could be good for Riven to kite around. And she's going through the minion wave. But it looks like Vi might get this with the red buff burn. And she's going to flash for it.
Flash, yeah.
Alright, the
Probably-
advantage you had there, Riven,
Uh.
was you like a lot of people, specifically lower levels, don't realize the damage advantage they have over the junglers, and especially because your minion wave was rolling up, you could have moved towards your minion wave, and then when Vi got in there, stunned her on the wave, kited her around a little bit, got the airborne in there. You probably could have turned that in your favor. Safer option, of course, just run back. Use your mobility and use your shields
think
and
all
your
the
airbornes
cooldowns-
just to get away.
All the cooldowns might have been blown. And I just saw Scion did teleport after Riven died. Probably didn't really need to, considering your lane was already going to get sort of in the middle, was going to push too hard. It seemed like an unnecessary waste of that important summoner. If Vi is DC, remember you can use the pause at any time. Just 5-minute grace period. I just want to make sure that people have that knowledge. Top lane, I think now has a might have a level advantage. Nah, it's about half.
No.
About half.
Riven
level
does not
advantage.
have the, but she definitely has a damage advantage. As
Ooh.
Rek'Sai goes in there, gets the tunnel, and so much damage coming through. Scion is gonna go down,
Right.
and he's passive. He's gonna run for it, but it looks like he's not gonna get anything. A good stun by Riven is gonna stop him in his tracks. He's just gonna take a little bit of farm. Here, Scion would have been a good time for your teleport.
Yeah. Ooh.
Using it before, kind of pointless. If you're gonna use your teleport to go back to lane, you want to use it so you're not missing out on any farm. And you weren't really missing out on a lot of farm before. See, like the waves come up to the tower here now. You're losing all that farm and the cannon as well, which is really gonna hurt you. So Riven has got a very big lead over you now.
very-
And everyone coming up with mid lane, and Xerath is gonna get eaten by Rek'Sai under the tower, and he's just gonna. And Rek'Sai's gonna walk out of this, no problem. I don't care about that tower damage. That's weak.
There's a lot of summoners, a lot of damage coming out from the bot lane, specifically Graves doing a lot of burst damage on that Jinx. I would probably just run Leona. There's like legit no point in you being there. You're gonna die. Like it's way worth having you leave and maybe lose a tower or get the tower half hit than you dying and doing that instead. Yeah. But like I said, Graves doing a lot of work early. It's going to be hard. They're going to want to get things to try and catch up, but you know they are buying wards. They are going to try and get vision around their the jungler, maybe even dragon. Keep themselves like safe. You just want to constantly keep moving. Try and dodge the hooks. Maybe even like move to speed might have been a decent pick if you have the money for it. I don't think they do. It's on 30. The 29 CS at 7 minutes, which isn't the best, unfortunately. But getting there with Graves picking up a BF sword. I think it might be a bit of a snowball starting here because you basically own the lane now.
Sword over a pickaxe in this lane. That is going to be absolutely huge. And he's also picked up some boots of speed. Not totally necessary, but it will help him close gaps a little bit and stay in range to keep the damage on top of Jinx. I'm hoping he's not going to upgrade it to Berserker's Grief though, because there's absolutely no reason for that to
Yeah,
happen.
you don't need to get it
And,
so fast.
They are just going huge here, and the damage from collateral damage is absolutely massive. Leona's going to walk away from this though. A lot of action going in top lane. Scion went into passive mode and punched the absolute crap out of her, but it was Xerath that was going to get this Arcano pulse kill.
1-for-1, but then Xerath did also blow his barrier. So might have come out a little bit even, might even a little bit worse in Riven's favor because now if I look in here correctly, red is now going to be pushing a little bit harder on the blue creep. So, and teleport being used again by Cyan to get back there. Still, I don't think it was really necessary now, but I don't know. Didn't seem like you really honestly needed to use it, but
The advantage you have with teleport is that even though you may die in lane, you can come back and not miss out on too much farm. Everyone, a lot of people need to remember that farm is going to be where you get most of your gold from, not kills. Unless you're Draven, you're not going to get. You're going to get most of your farm. You're going to get most of your gold from farm. So it's not bad because he's not going to miss out on a lot of creeps, and he can sort of try and keep up with her a little bit. Sadly, though, his build is not one I would have recommended at all.
No.
Look at this damage coming out from Riven. 2 long swords and 2 rejuve beats. It's
Oh!
Big damage from bot
Oh,
lane. Ooh, very
Jig's
close.
just getting out. Maybe if she had ult. Oh. You do not want to be building damage if you are 0-3. Honestly, I would probably just leave. I would leave the lane and like ult somewhere else, because you're just gonna get killed over and over again. Ooh.
Use your utility. He should have really thought about, for one thing, rather than starting with a shield, because a lot of Riven. Oh boy, that was
Good dive
big
by
tower
Rek'Sai.
Stop making things happen in the bot lane so I can talk about Scion. Scion, a lot of Riven's damage is going to be coming from abilities, so a cloth 5 start probably would have been better for you, and then turning that cloth later on into a chain vest. That's something you can do, and that will help you survive a lot of the onslaught that's coming for you. Sustain and a vamp scepter, not gonna help you very much.
No.
And she has a 2-level advantage on you now, so you want to avoid fighting her as much as possible. So best thing you can do, use your utility around the map right now, because there's nothing you're gonna do to stop her unless you start getting 3 or 4 people coming top to deal with her, because 2 people at this point ain't gonna do it. A snowballing Riven will kill 2 people if she gets ganked. Look at this damage coming out. She is just absolutely, really just tearing
Honestly,
this Scion apart.
Cyan, you just need to leave. There's no point in you being in that lane anymore. You're either gonna die and like feed the Riven more, and you'll probably lose the
And
tower
look
for
at,
it.
look at this.
But then,
It's a nice dragon pickup.
first dragon pickup of the game going to red team, because with bot lane getting destroyed, 0-3 Jinx can't really do a lot to a lot of pressure being in top. The only sort of like failure, I think, so well, not a failure, but this sort of like disadvantage they've got, blue team's going for them, is the mid tower is gone. That's the only thing I can see. But
This is very, very risky here.
ooh. 1Q.
Luckily,
Yeah.
Riven is gated by her cooldowns. But that would have, for me, Riven, that would have given me confidence, because the amount of damage you did to him before he could drop you really says something about how far ahead you are right now.
This is mad life hooks coming.
Oh, a nice flash box coming out here,
Oh,
locking down Jinx completely, and so much damage coming through. Leona's gonna have to flash, and she's running back to the tower, but collateral damage comes
Ooh,
through, and it's
no.
not enough. The Eclipse just keeps her alive.
so much damage coming out from this Graves, being well farmed and having going 303, getting a very quick IE here, especially he probably has it now. Yeah, he does have it now. He has enough gold for it. Getting that tower, getting more gold can buy wards, can change your trinkets to scrying orbs and chinks.
Good dancing dodge there,
Happy
Seraph
feet.
ults. Thresh is doing a lot of work in this lane. He's landing his hooks, he's getting the flays, and that flash box was absolutely immaculate. Locked Jinx down and allowed Graves to dash in and deal all the damage he needed to do to drop her. It was good focus, and it was good use of your utility and your flash.
There we go. So this is what I wanted to see from Simon. Him going into other lanes and doing something else rather than going to top. Thank you for like listening, but yeah, it's yeah, not going to be able to do anything a lot unless you have a jungle support. But no one's used the pause yet. I think Vi's been gone. No one's used pause /pause. I was wondering.
It's been 5 minutes anyway, sadly. I don't think she's coming back.
Nah, unfortunately
But,
not.
But yeah, the golden rule, Sion, you can't win your own lane, win someone else's.
Uh-huh.
And a good place to start is definitely Zerath's lane. He's, I'd say he's a little bit ahead in terms of kills. Syndra has farmed better, but Zerath probably got a little bit better gold-wise. The gold difference is, it's close between the two of them. So, you know, going into that mid lane and sort of helping Zerath out to start adapting a bit of a lead. Now you're probably looking at the scoreboard, you're thinking, Victor, what are you talking about? Syndra's got no kills, she's only got an assist to her name, Zerath's got 3 kills. Well actually, if you check the farm count, Syndra has farmed much better than Zerath. And if you just quick the gold, if you bring up the gold count real quick, you can see that the gold difference is very close, but it's in Syndra's favor. So technically right now, as far as gold goes, Syndra is stronger than Zerath, especially because Zerath is sitting on 1500 gold as well.
Yep. It just proves that farm is just really important. I think the
big aggression coming out for this bot lane, even though they're so far behind. Pulled on to Riven, but just couldn't make it happen. Riven's just going to clean her up, no problem. Now they're chasing a beautiful hook, and that's going to bring her down. 2 kills for red team. Nice flash over the orb, but you weren't quite in range for that stun.
Alright. Just want to take a look at builds here. Sion might want to have gone tanky rather than going damage, and we've already mentioned that.
The tabbies were a good pick up though. I think the tabbies were a step in the right direction. Now, typically,
maybe not the Tiamat.
not the Tiamat. When people sort of learn, like Jinx has built Berserker's Greaves here. That's not the way you want to go. Graves picked up a pair of shoes just to keep in range and keep the damage for his auto attacks on top of you. And that was a good buy. I'm in favor of that buy. But you'll notice he didn't upgrade them to Berserker's Greaves because the attack speed isn't doing much for him. You've gone for the Berserker's Greaves and you don't have much damage to back up your auto attack speed. We got a fight coming down here in the Tribe Rush. Sion's tanking it up and Leona's going to go in there, but Riven's coming down here. Mobility's going to get right in there. Rek'Sai diving deep, and Jinx is in the fight now too. Whoa! A lot of damage coming out from that cone, and she's going for it. She's got red in her eyes, huge damage coming out. She's going to clean that up. And Sion is just going to walk away with a sliver of health.
Exactly what I was afraid of, that the Riven would then start to snowball. Good stun from Zerath getting out of there. Taking a bit of damage, but still getting in the again, leaving.
Syndra doesn't quite have the damage just yet, so.
Nah.
But yeah, Sion, the tabbies were a step in the right direction, probably picking them up a bit earlier to block that that auto attack damage that was coming out from Riven. Of course, I still think you should have gone for your cloth 5 start to block most of her ability damage early, but now that she's sort of getting ahead a bit, you know, she's got the Tiamat, she's got the Brutalizer. Tabby's definitely a good pickup. Still, Tiamat, not the way to go, the Tiamat. You should have maybe thought about getting a chain vest, maybe turning it into a Sunfire. And Jinx extended a little too far, you know, you got right up in the face of that minion wave, that's not gonna help you. A big stun coming out here for Leona, but Turret is not even aggroing the right people here, so really too quick on the engage. If the turret was aggroing Riven, you probably could have got a bit more damage off, maybe not even needed to flash, because Riven might have been the one who had to back off, but still, the thought was there, but you need to play it a bit better, because you know, if the turret's not aggroing her and you've stunned her, what have you done? You've really done nothing. You've just opened yourself up. Yeah,
I think Red could have just backed off earlier anyway. They weren't really going to be able to make play that, and all should have just gone to Dragon. It didn't really matter considering Rek'Sai can solo it now, but they could have gone somewhere else, pressed them in the lane. Grace was doing a good job pressuring top lane while 3 were bot and picked up a tower. A lot of, just, if you're not going to be able to get anything bot, you might as well just move somewhere else.
Oh, Vi's come back too.
Oh, Vi has come back. Okay.
They're going to win, boys.
Maybe, see if we, See if there's any scumbags. Nothing. It's just saying if people are gonna be
One
scumbags
thing I like
trying to
about
buy. Go
what
ahead.
Red was doing, they sort of backed off a bit from it now and checking their gold. A couple of them do need to go back. Riven is sitting on 3,500, Syndra on 1,000, so they should think about going back soon. But big fight coming out here though. Thresh is going to land a pull, and the box is going to come through. He's going to have to flash out though, he's taking too much damage, and this looks like a fight for blue team right here. Riven's gone in the middle, and she's taking down that Hyper Cannon. Graves is coming here too, and he's going to send away that Zera.
Riven getting
So
very low.
Riven gone very low. Sion does not have the damage or the tank to clean this up. Maybe his passive can finish him off, but Tunnel's out of there, Rek'Sai does. And Sion not going to be able to clean this one up. The red team are so strong. It was in the favor of blue team, but really they're just too far behind at this point to make it happen. Riven was able to flash in there and get on top of Jinx without any real issue. Sion, given what's happening right now, you should focus more on peeling than diving for the backline, especially when your backline diving, the target you're going for in the backline is
I wouldn't chase it while you were 4 levels behind.
4 levels behind and been DC'd, so you are incredibly underfarmed.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it's going to be kind of hard. You might want to have to be the person to build tank because Sion is going to be a little bit behind with that because he's rushing damage.
You have to build tank at this point, really. You haven't got much options. You build damage when you're ahead so you can keep staying ahead and just overwhelm them with how much damage you have. You're not going to be able to do that because right now you're behind and you're not going to be able to use the damage to get ahead there.
Oh my god.
Blue
Riven.
team, you're just forcing things you can't make happen right now. You need to really stay in your base, focus on your wave clearing, and try and turtle this out a little bit more.
Oh my god. Triple
a kill with the Hydro
quad. Where's the panel?
Giant sword, and look at the lifesteal. There is just so
That's
much damage from the auto attacks alone. That is a bloodthirster, ravenous Hydra Riven. So
And
much
brutalizer.
sustaining fights.
That's ridiculous.
She is tanking
will
with
the
her lifesteal. Sion gotta burn his ult to run away. Riven's very good at jumping over those walls, and she's actually got an elixir of wrath as well.
Oh.
She's healing for about
200 per hit, I think. Yeah.
200.
That's ridiculous. So she doesn't get too cocky and tries to 1v5 like that. Yeah.
Look around at your map, you know.
Yeah.
Who's up on the enemy team? Everyone. Who's around on my team? Well, Rek'Sai is sort of pushing the bot lane, which is good. That's so much pressure, and blue team aren't answering. But Graves is a bit behind. I got a couple people behind me. No, you got too cocky, and you got
I
picked
just
out
want
for
to
it.
comment on red
Look at
team's-
this. Rek'Sai is just wrist whacking these things, all that tower, and now going for the inhib. They need to go back and deal with her, but they're just not doing it. They're again. I don't even know why you're coming up and trying to get a bit chest bumpy with the enemy team when you just can't make it happen. And Vi is not going to be able to stop this. You know how far Vi is behind? It's a level 8 to a level 13. It's just not going to happen.
So also want to
This
comment
could
on
be a
red
good
team's
kick out.
vision. They have so much vision, like everywhere. Vision wards everywhere. Ooh, but there's a fight going on here. Rek'Sai.
Rek'Sai, of course, too blind to see that there was a Leona there.
I would call worth on that, getting an inhib for 1 kill. Like, yeah.
It was worth. You did get the inhib, and that's gonna extend your lead even more. One thing I like about what the red team have been doing here is they haven't left blue with a lot of options. If you check all of the lanes, they're all pushed up in red's favor. All the gates are open here. And look, another inhib going down because blue team had to go deal with the top wave. Well, now red team gets a tower. And now red team's hitting the inhibitor. And soon your Nexus may be exploding too. There's a big fight coming out here, and Vi is just going to completely disappear off the face of the map after going in there. And the focus is nice on Graves. The exhaust is going to keep him from doing too much damage. And Zera, right at the arcade.
Oh my gosh, this
And
Riven is doing
Sion's going to go
so
down,
much
but his passive
work.
punching is coming through, and boom, that's some big damage coming through to drop Syndra.
Crazy fight going on just there. I think Riven may have been on the bar of health and healed most of it back while Jinx was in melee range, I think, of Riven. It's like, you have range, you use it. Like, you don't need to be that close. not even for like getting E's or anything to like stun her down. Use your range, because increased range from Q on the rockets is a lot more. You need to peel rather than picking to fight, especially since Vi has been AFK and no one paused, so she's very far behind. You need to get that going. Unfortunately, these things happen, but oh well. There is a third game, but I think I've already made up my mind as MVP Ribbon so far. I don't know, it's just that doing that much work, able to build properly, snowball that right, still doesn't have lucidities, but oh well, I don't think that really matters, but you know,
Ribbon's definitely snowballed ahead pretty far, but I don't know. I kind of feel warm towards this bot lane. Thresh did a really good job of making some good hooks,
yes,
and
Mad Life
the
Thresh.
warding is excellent. I don't know how much. I don't know how much of these wards are Threshers. But there's a lot of wards coming through for red team, and Rek'Sai tunnels too, I guess. But you know, Thresh has really been in there, getting those hooks, making those picks, and really helped. The really high aggression early game has really helped to get Graves ahead as well. But definitely, we look at this Ribbon damage.
Yeah,
this Ribbon
nah,
healing,
you might.
That is absolutely massive. I think as far as score goes, we probably just have to give it to Ribbon. But
yeah.
I do want to.
I do 100% agree with. I do 100% agree with you with Thresh doing some really good warding. These hooks have been absolutely phenomenal. I just love it how the map is just sprinkled with red dots everywhere. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
great.
they're mostly Rek'Sai tunnels, but there are good few amount of wards in there. They have full control of this jungle, and I think in a couple of seconds we're going to see a Nexus exploding right here. So it's really sad that disconnect had to happen, and really some of the lanes could have been played a bit better. Sion, think about what you're starting early. You don't have to go Doran's shield just because it's a Doran's item. Look for your cloth 5s, and look to build armor when you're behind against a really AD heavy champion. You know, there's one stat she benefits from, and that's fucking AD, and that's what she's gonna build. So
100%. Good game. Well played. I think only things that can really be improved on Sign, you gotta build that armor way faster. It's not worth building damage if you're going 0-3 in lane. There's legit no point. You're not going to do anything. Leave lane earlier. You'll lose tower. Go get someone else's in like mid or possibly even bot.
And sitting on rejuve beads really isn't going to help you that much. If you went to mid lane and you sort of helped propel Xerath forward a bit more, then you know you could have come back a little bit and used your tankiness and utility to support the team and peel for Jinx and try and keep Xerath alive as well. Get Xerath ahead a little bit. Xerath starts putting out more damage, and then you know when they're pushing into you, you know, focus not on making picks and trying to start fights. Focus on clearing waves. You got those big long-range AoE rockets coming out from Jinx. You got Sion's body getting in there. You got and Xerath. Xerath has such long-range wave clear that you really should be using. And sadly, Leona just doesn't do too much when she's behind, so focus less on the dive and more on the stun Riven when she jumps on top of Jinx's face.
I think I'm just going to award that MVP to Riven just by like able to take control of that snowball. It's ridiculous playing, and Archidarium has joined, so maybe he'll actually have a cast. We'll see. Everyone joins the Diamond Camp. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, Arch is a diamond? I didn't fucking know that.
Hey, he's Diamond 3.